Communicating confidently in a business English setting can really make you a standout employee or potential job candidate. In this lesson, you will learn one aspect of English that can accelerate your fluency in business English. So let's talk about phrasal verbs. Phrasal verbs are verbs that are used with another word, like an adverb or a preposition, to create a commonly used phrase. Unfortunately, it can be difficult to understand the meaning of a phrasal verb by interpreting each of the words it contains literally. Let's take, for example, the words pick. Pick means to choose or select. Up is the opposite of down. But when combined, pick up means to take hold of and lift up. For example, can you pick up that book for me off of the ground? Communicating with native English speakers in a business setting means you're guaranteed to encounter phrasal verbs. I'll tell you now, most native English speaker doesn't even know what a phrasal verb is because it is so common in their day-to-day language. Let's take a look at 5 business English phrasal verbs that can help you. 1, look for. 2, catch up. 3, look into. 4, call off. And 5, come up with. Before we talk about what each of these phrasal verbs means and how it's used, you need to know 2 major ways to divide phrasal verbs. The first is if the phrasal verb needs an object or not. The grammatical terms for these are transitive, or verbs that need an object, and intransitive, verbs that don't need an object. Let's take a look at the phrasal verb look forward to. You can't say, I'm looking forward to, because you leave the listener wanting more information. What are you looking forward to or excited about? So then it's, I'm looking forward to your presentation. The second way that phrasal verbs can be divided is if they are separable or inseparable. When phrasal verbs are separable or able to be separated, the object can go in between the main verb and the other part of the phrasal verb, which means that an inseparable phrasal verb, inseparable, is not able to separate, cannot have anything between the main verb and the rest of the phrasal verb. That means it must all stay together. An example of an inseparable phrasal verb is deal with. Deal with means to handle or work on. Our new department head will deal with the merger. Because it's inseparable, the object, the merger, cannot be put in the middle of the phrasal verb. The following sentence is wrong. Our new department head will deal the merger with. It was even challenging for me to just say that sentence. Deal with must be said together, and the object comes after. Figure out is an example of a separable phrasal verb. The object can go in between figure and out, or it can be placed after the phrasal verb, just the same as inseparable phrasal verbs. Figure out means to think about something and understand it. Both of the following sentences are correct. Our manager figured out the problem. Our manager figured the problem out. Now that you know the 2 ways to divide phrasal verbs, let's take a look at those 5 business English phrasal verbs that I mentioned before. Number 1, look for. It's inseparable, and transitive. It means to search. For example, they are looking for a candidate who can speak both Japanese and Portuguese. Number 2, catch up. It's inseparable and transitive. It means to spend extra time doing something because you have not done it earlier. For example, because I went on vacation last week, I have a lot of work to catch up on. Number 3, look into. It's inseparable and transitive. It means to investigate or learn more about. We are now looking into new software to use in our training. Number 4, call off. It's separable and transitive. It means to cancel. For example, the department meeting was called off this week, so please use your time wisely. And finally, number 5, come up with something. It's inseparable and transitive. It means to think of an idea or plan. They came up with some great ideas for the collaboration with Nike. Now that you know the meaning of these 5 business English phrasal verbs, let's practice how to use them in real conversation and see if you remember if they are separable or inseparable. Good luck.